Earlier today, an entire town was shaken by a piece of news. A 73-year-old woman, lively, healthy, and with no known medical issues, collapsed moments after getting out of bed. No warning signs, no symptoms, nothing to suggest trouble. What began as an ordinary morning suddenly turned into a sobering lesson, and it might just serve as a wake-up call for you, too. The most alarming part? This wasn't an isolated case. Every day, countless older adults unknowingly repeat simple morning routines that, while seemingly harmless, actually weaken their bodies, disrupt circulation, accelerate aging, and heighten the risk of falls, injuries, and heart issues. The actions taken in the very first minutes of the day can determine whether someone maintains vitality and independence, or becomes increasingly vulnerable to the effects of aging. Today, I'm going to uncover the 5 most common mistakes seniors make right after waking up. More importantly, I'll show you how to correct them easily and effectively so you can enjoy more energy, stability, freedom, and mental clarity at any age. Stay with me until the end, because the 5th mistake is the most dangerous of all and rarely talked about. Yet it silently threatens the health of thousands every single day. So if you find this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell to keep receiving valuable insights that can transform your well-being. And drop a comment below. Today, I choose to protect my strength and health every day. This simple affirmation marks your commitment to living stronger and more consciously. Now picture this. You wake up, open your eyes, and without thinking, you swing your body out of bed. It's automatic, part of a routine millions of people follow without ever considering the risks. But what seems like a normal habit may actually be the first step toward a fall, a fracture, a hospital stay, or even a serious cardiac episode. After age 60, the body's circulatory response slows down. Jumping out of bed quickly becomes a hidden hazard that only becomes clear after a close call or a serious accident. During sleep, the body rests for hours. Circulation slows, blood pressure drops naturally, and muscles enter a deeply relaxed state. Standing up too quickly after this rest period can trigger a sharp dip in blood pressure, what doctors call orthostatic hypertension. This sudden drop means blood takes longer to reach the brain, causing dizziness, blurred vision, shaky legs, and even fainting. Many older adults, even those in good health, experience falls in their bedrooms shortly after waking, simply because they don't give their bodies time to adapt. What makes it so dangerous is how subtle it can be. A moment of foggy vision, a brief imbalance, a slight shortness of breath. These signals are often brushed off until a serious incident occurs. The numbers are undeniable. Morning falls are among the leading causes of serious injuries and hospital admissions in older adults. And many of these incidents could be avoided with just a few mindful actions in the first minutes of the day. According to ancient Buddhist wisdom, waking up is not just a transition, it's a sacred act. Monks believe that how you rise sets the energy for your entire day, and eventually, your entire life. They teach that the body should awaken gradually, honoring the natural flow of blood and life energy. They begin by slowly moving fingers, breathing deeply, and stretching gently while still lying down. These rituals have helped preserve their strength, balance, and mental clarity well into old age. And now, modern research confirms that this approach significantly reduces the risk of falls and heart issues. So what should you do when you first wake up? Don't rush. Start by taking 2 or 3 deep breaths. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Gently rotate your ankles and wrists. Then roll onto your side and sit up slowly. Let your feet rest on the floor and remain seated for 20 to 30 seconds. While there, move your shoulders and feet gently. Only when you feel fully steady should you stand, slowly, intentionally. This short morning ritual takes less than 2 minutes, yet it could protect you from dangerous falls, serious injuries, and months of painful recovery. It's the difference between starting your day in strength or risking it all in a split second. Would you like me to turn this into a narrated video script or provide visuals to support the points? Night. While you sleep, your body continues to work non-stop. Heart beating, lungs breathing, cells regenerating. This continuous work consumes water, even if you don't notice it. That's why, when you open your eyes, your body already wakes up in a state of mild dehydration. Yet many seniors ignore this fact and start the day without hydrating, which triggers a silent chain of problems. Thicker blood, compromised circulation, unstable blood pressure, and, in the long run, an increased risk of heart attacks, strokes, and sudden falls. The major danger is that with age, the natural sensation of thirst decreases, meaning you could be dehydrated without even feeling thirsty. Many people start their day with coffee, medications, or skip drinking fluids altogether, not realizing they are putting even more strain on their circulatory system right from the first hour of the day. And as the blood becomes heavier, the heart has to work harder to pump it, overloading a system that already responds more slowly with age. It's a silent cycle that slowly drains vitality. Let me tell you the story of Mrs. Mary, 76 years old. She always considered herself healthy. She walked regularly, kept her house in order, and led an active life. But over time, she began waking up with headaches, fatigue, and light morning dizziness. She thought it was just normal aging, until one day she fainted in her kitchen shortly after getting up. At the hospital, the diagnosis was surprising: mild dehydration and hypertension. It only took developing the habit of keeping a glass of water by her bedside and drinking it upon waking, and within a few weeks, her symptoms had almost completely disappeared. Among Buddhist monks, there is an ancient teaching: before the body acts, it must be honored with what sustains it. For them, water is the first nourishment of the day, the liquid vital energy that purifies the body and prepares it for conscious movement. Drinking water upon waking is not just a biological need, it's an act of respect for the temple that is the body. This ancestral wisdom echoes in modern science. Hydrating immediately upon waking improves circulation, stabilizes blood pressure, and enhances mental clarity. What should you do then? Before thinking about coffee, news, or social media, drink water. Keep a glass nearby, within easy reach. If it's difficult, start with small sips. If you like, add a few drops of lemon to naturally stimulate your digestive system. And remember, thirst is a delayed SOS signal from your body. True protection happens before it arrives. This simple daily gesture could be the silent shield that protects your life for decades. For many people, the day truly begins after the first sip of coffee. The aroma, the warmth in your hands, the sensation of waking up. It's almost a sacred ritual. But there's a silent detail that most ignore. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach, especially after age 60, can be one of the worst habits for health. And the most dangerous part is that the damage doesn't appear immediately. It builds up slowly, like an invisible crack that one day causes the entire structure to collapse. When you wake up, your body has been fasting for many hours. Blood sugar levels are low, energy reserves are depleted, and your stomach is extremely sensitive. By pouring pure coffee into this environment, you abruptly increase gastric acid production. Without food to protect the stomach walls, this acid starts to attack the inner lining, promoting gastritis, acid reflux, abdominal discomfort, and even ulcers. For those with a history of digestive problems, very common among seniors, this small daily gesture can be the trigger for serious complications. Let me tell you the story of Mr. John, 75 years old. For over 40 years, he kept the same habit: waking up, brewing a strong coffee, and drinking it before anything else. He believed it was the secret to his morning energy, but gradually he began suffering from stomach pains, chest burning, intestinal irritation, and eventually severe acid reflux. It wasn't until a nutritionist explained the impact of this habit that Mr. John changed. He started eating a small solid food portion before drinking coffee, a banana, a handful of nuts, or a piece of whole grain bread, and within a few weeks, the discomfort he had carried for years simply disappeared. In the wisdom of Buddhist monks, there's a fundamental principle. Before stimulating the body, strengthen it. That's why, even during intense spiritual practices, monks eat small, light meals before any strong stimulation to the nervous system. They understand that internal balance is fragile and that vital energy must be respected, not forced. This age-old care protects the stomach, the heart, and even emotional stability, creating a solid foundation for facing the day. What should you do then? Before drinking your morning coffee, consume something light and nutritious. It can be a banana, a handful of nuts, a piece of whole grain bread, or even plain yogurt. It doesn't need to be a big breakfast, just a small base to protect your stomach and balance caffeine absorption. This simple change can not only eliminate silent discomforts, but also improve your mood, your energy, and even your sleep quality over time. Remember, strengthening your body before demanding from it is a form of wisdom that spans centuries. Many people wake up feeling slight stiffness in their legs, shoulders, or back and simply ignore it. They get up, stretch quickly, take a few steps, and continue with their day as if nothing is happening. The problem is that this morning stiffness, so common in people over 60, is not just a passing discomfort. It's a silent signal that the body needs more care, especially in the first minutes of the day. Ignoring this warning can increase the risk of strains, muscle injuries, and falls, which, for seniors, can have serious and lasting consequences. During sleep, our body remains almost motionless for hours. Muscles stay relaxed, circulation slows down, and synovial fluid, the lubricant for the joint, settles, making movements feel stiff upon waking. If you try to move too quickly, without giving time for this natural lubrication to normalize, you end up forcing muscles and joints that are still asleep. This sets the perfect scene for small tears, sprains, and imbalances that can lead to dangerous falls. All of this happens silently, often without immediate pain, but the damage accumulates and can show up later. Let me tell you about Mrs. Margaret, 79 years old, always active. She loved getting up early and taking care of the house. However, she began to feel her legs heavy when waking up, yet insisted on walking quickly to the bathroom, until one day her knees locked up, she lost her balance, and fell sideways, hitting her hip on the edge of the bed. Fortunately, there was no fracture, but Mrs. Margaret spent weeks afraid to get up alone, depending on help for small tasks. All because she didn't respect the time her body needed to fully awaken. In the philosophy of Buddhist monks, there is an essential principle called conscious awakening. They teach that when you wake up, the body and mind are still in a transitional state between the world of rest and the world of action. Moving hastily is seen as a disrespect to one's physical nature. Thus, they dedicate a few minutes to gentle movements, light stretches, and deep breathing before any intense activity. This ritual preserves not only physical health, but also mental energy and emotional stability throughout the day. What should you do then? When you wake up, allow a few minutes for your body to adapt. Still lying down, move your fingers and toes, gently rotate your ankles, and slowly stretch your arms above your head. Sit on the edge of the bed, carefully stretch your back, and move your neck gently from side to side. These small gestures activate circulation, prepare your joints, and strengthen the neuromuscular system for the day ahead. Spending just 2 or 3 minutes on this practice could add years of autonomy, balance, and quality of life. It's your body asking for a little more respect and offering in return lasting vitality. Now we arrive at the most dangerous mistake of all, the one that seems small and subtle, but silently steals your strength, your stability, your breathing, and even your confidence. Many people don't even realize they're making it because it settles in so subtly, like an invisible habit. But over the years, it becomes one of the main factors for falls, loss of mobility, and physical frailty. And perhaps, without realizing it, you repeat it every morning. The mistake is simple: not caring about posture upon waking. Many seniors get up with their bodies hunched, shoulders slumped forward, head down, and torso collapsed. It's a posture that, besides projecting an image of weakness, collapses breathing, compresses internal organs, and unbalances the body's center of gravity. In other words, you start the day breathing poorly, moving with less balance, and forcing your joints and muscles incorrectly. All of this exponentially increases the risk of dizziness, tripping, and accidents during the first hours of the day. This poor morning posture causes profound and invisible consequences. The compression of the rib cage reduces blood oxygenation, and less oxygen means less energy, more fatigue, and greater mental confusion. Additionally, a hunched torso alters bowel function, slowing digestion and promoting problems like bloating, gas, and constipation. And it doesn't stop there. Studies show that posture directly influences mood and memory. The more hunched you are, the greater the tendency towards sadness, discouragement, and insecurity. All of this starts silently with the first steps you take when you get out of bed. Let me tell you about Mrs. Helen, 81 years old. She had always been active, enjoyed walking, loved reading, and cherished talking with her family. But over time, without realizing it, she began getting up already hunched over, looking down at the ground. First came light dizziness, then a minor trip at home, eventually a fall that left her unable to walk properly for months, all because her body, bent over every morning upon waking, slowly lost its center of balance and ability to react quickly to small missteps. What seemed like just a way of walking was actually the silent sign that something much bigger was at risk. In the philosophy of Buddhist monks, posture is considered the physical expression of vital energy. For them, when you wake up, rising with a straight spine, aligned shoulders, and eyes looking forward, is a gesture of respect for life and your own path. This body awareness is not about vanity, it's about health. It preserves the integrity of muscles, bones, breathing, and even the mind. Moving with presence and dignity upon waking is one of the secrets to aging strong, lucid, and independent. What should you do then? Before standing up, while still sitting on the edge of the bed, stretch your spine as if you were trying to grow a few centimeters. Take a deep breath. Pull your shoulders back and keep your chin parallel to the floor. When placing your feet on the ground, keep your torso upright and your gaze at eye level, never toward the floor. Every step you take in the first few minutes of the morning should be made consciously, feeling your whole body working in harmony. This simple posture adjustment not only protects your physical strength, but also feeds your mental clarity, confidence, and connection to life itself. Never underestimate the power of your first movements of the day. The way you get up each morning is shaping the way you will age. And more than that, it's shaping your ability to remain free, independent, and alive, not just in body, but also in mind and spirit. Correcting your posture is a gift you give yourself every single day, and in the future, it will make all the difference. Maybe after hearing all of this, you thought, oh, but I've always done these things, and nothing bad has happened. That's a very common and completely human reaction. When we've had a habit for years, our brain creates a false sense of security. It believes that because nothing bad has happened yet, nothing will. But the human body doesn't work that way. The body is like a bridge that gradually accumulates invisible cracks until one day, without warning, it gives way. The great trap of time is that it acts silently. Many bad habits don't cause immediate effects. They slowly wear down your circulatory system, your balance, your muscle strength, and your ability to react. On the outside, everything seems fine, but inside, tiny imbalances, small injuries, slight declines in adaptability accumulate, undermining the foundation that sustains your independence. And when the first major scare happens, fall, a heart attack, a fainting spell, it feels like it happened suddenly, when in reality it was the result of years ignoring subtle signs. In many Eastern traditions, including among Buddhist monks, there is a very wise phrase: what you do today silently builds or destroys your tomorrow. Small acts of care, small gestures of respect for your body, are like invisible seeds planted every day. And just like a tree takes years to grow or to rot, your body also accumulates, silently, the impact of your daily choices. That's why when we talk about morning habits, we're not talking about something silly. We're talking about your future freedom. If up until today, you got out of bed any way you wanted, ignored hydration, drank coffee on an empty stomach, or moved too quickly, this does not condemn you. On the contrary, the human body is incredible in its ability to regenerate. When you start doing the right things, small changes today can interrupt silent processes that, if left unchecked, would bring painful limitations tomorrow. It's like changing the direction of a ship. At first, the course change seems tiny, almost invisible, but over time, it leads you to a completely different destination. So before thinking, it won't happen to me, ask yourself, what kind of future do I want to build from now on? Because it doesn't matter how old you are, 60, 70, 80. The truth is that as long as there is life, there is still time to do things differently. And every small act of care you adopt today is a silent investment in your freedom, strength, and joy to live for many years to come. If you've made it this far, you've already proven that you are different. While many continue repeating the same habits without thinking or questioning, you chose to do the hardest thing: seek awareness. And that is the true beginning of any transformation. The simple act of understanding how your small daily actions shape your future already puts you on the path to longevity, vitality, and freedom. Because it's not time that determines how we age, it's the choices we make every day. Now you know what? What may seem like small actions, rising slowly, drinking water upon waking, eating before having coffee, being mindful of posture and your first movements, are actually profound. These subtle choices, often overlooked, form the quiet foundation that supports your strength, stability, and independence. And the truth is, most people don't realize how vital these habits are until they're gone. But you don't have to wait for that wake-up call. Right now, You hold the power to reshape your story. Each morning offers a fresh chance to sow the seeds of vitality, balance, and protection for your future. It doesn't have to be perfect or drastic. It simply needs to begin with respect for the body that carries you, the life that flows through you, and the chapters still waiting to be lived with freedom and joy. The more you cherish these small moments, the more your body will respond with energy, clarity, and presence. Aging doesn't have to mean decline. It can mean deepening wisdom, quiet strength, and inner harmony. If something in today's message resonated with you, know it wasn't by chance. Life constantly offers signs. We just need to be present enough to notice them. Perhaps this was your sign, a gentle reminder that your story is still unfolding, and you have every right to shape it with awareness, care, and intention. Your body is your first home, and every small act of care is a way of honoring all it has carried you through. So I invite you now, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell to receive guidance that supports a more vibrant and fulfilled life. And leave a comment below. I choose to take care of my health every day, starting with the small things. That phrase is more than just a comment. It's a promise to yourself and to the future you deserve. Would you like this version formatted for a social media caption or script presentation?